Hey, what's up YouTube? I'm Skybadger and I'm back with another video in Call of War 1942. Today I want to talk about artillery and why it's so important on this virtual battlefield. I'll discuss why it's important and why I like it. So to start, there are three types of artillery: normal artillery, SP artillery, and the legendary railroad gun. Each of these have their bonuses and areas where they excel. So let's look at the stats for each of them and compare their max levels. So let's start with the cost and upkeep for these units. As you can see here, normal artillery is the cheapest as it requires the less resources and no oil, but it does take more manpower than the others. And this is one of the reasons I use normal artillery, as it is cheap and combined with short training time of 20 hours, this makes it quick and easy to produce in mass. But you get what you pay for, I guess, and that is clear with SP and the railroad gun, that are arguably better. So, upkeep. It is clear that the railroad gun has a much bigger upkeep than the other two, and this is the reason why I don't like the railroad guns, as they are slow and they don't see much action. They basically eat up resources and do nothing, but when they are in use, they are amazing. So yeah, depending on how you prioritize the resources in your economy, you might find that SP is better suited for you than normal artillery. In my style of game, I use a lot of oil on planes, ships, light tanks, and infrastructure, so I never have any to spare and invest into SP. But I always seem to have plenty of manpower, so I don't mind that at 60 it takes to run normal artillery. Right, now for attack and defense. Looking at the chart, we can see that the railroad gun is really the best. It has the best of both normal and SP artillery, while maintaining a range that is nearly double the range of both of them. But the railroad gun has the weakest defense against air, so it always has to be escorted by anti-air, and this makes the railgun way more expensive. SP artillery has the worst attack, as it only hits 3 on both infantry and armor, while normal artillery can get 3.5 on infantry, making it arguably better. The SP artillery and railroad gun have better defense against infantry and armor, but you're using artillery wrong if these numbers are in play. They all do 3 damage to buildings, but targeting buildings is normally counterproductive, and due to how ineffective artillery is against ships, it is a waste of resources to build them for this use. And last, terrain, hit points, speed, and strength. First off, let's look at the obvious. Railroad guns are really slow, SP artillery is fast, and normal artillery is a good middle ground. Railroad guns have twice the health of SP and 4 times the health of normal artillery, and this makes up for its lack of speed. Railroad guns and normal artillery are a little more versatile and are good in most terrains. While all types are not very efficient in mountains, SP loses 50% in cities, but can gain 50% in plains. I honestly like units that are versatile and can perform in most environments, so although plus 50% sounds good on plains, SP is already slightly weaker than the others, and not as good in as many environments. Now that we know their strengths and weaknesses, I'm going to tell you why artillery is so good, and it is really simple. Artillery is a safe way to engage enemy troops without taking casualties. That is why I use artillery, so I don't waste supplies, troops, and time. Artillery is slow unless you're using SP artillery. This means that artillery is best used on defense, but its uses in attacks is interesting. In attacks, I normally have 3 to 4 stacks of 8 artillery, with some anti-air to keep it safe. And then each of them march forward behind a group of tanks or infantry, and if I meet a point that is being defended, the tanks stop and the artillery just shells the place until the troops have died, left, or moved forward to attack me. Assuming I'm not fighting a whole army, no matter what they do, they lose. If they march forward at one group, I'll continue to shell the enemy troops while I send another group of tanks forward from another direction to capture the point. If they stay, they just continue to get shelled. If they retreat, I move forward and repeat. And if they move forward and leave troops behind, I just concentrate on the troops moving forward, and once they're done, I just change back to the main target. In situations where I have to move fast and I can't afford to wait, all I do is send the main body of troops to attack and then send the artillery in behind. Once the artillery is in range, I fire, then move it forward for another hour, and then fire again, and then repeat this. This way, I can nearly make up for the lack of speed artillery has. On defense, railguns are amazing. They have great range, and if you use the environments correctly, they can do a lot of damage. By putting railguns on the other side of a mountain, you can inflict a lot of damage, as mountain areas are the hardest and slowest areas for all troops to cross. This gives the railguns plenty of time to fire on them. So let's recap. All the different types of artillery have areas where they excel. SB has speed and is awesome in plains. The railroad gun has an unmatched range. And normal artillery is cheap, easy, and effective. So, if I have got something wrong this video, or you disagree with me, tell me in the comments. If you enjoyed this video and want more, like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching.